Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today's gonna be my second mock draft of the NFL season. Probably gonna end up doing these every week because draft order will change with every week as it goes by. Like the Giants, they were at 2 last week. Now they're sitting at 5, so we could see a different story here. The Patriots and Cardinals, I believe, move up. The Commanders definitely drop down, and different draft order every week will probably give us different players. So whether it's a mock draft Tuesday or a mock draft Wednesday, I'm recording this on Tuesday, but it'll probably come out on Wednesday. Just get one every single week. And now we have the Bears at the first overall pick. And even with the Giants dropping from 2 to 5, I could see them still trading up for the Bears' first pick, and I kind of want to do that. It's going to be a lot different because now the Giants are at 5, and the Bears probably don't get Marvin Harrison Jr. at 5. So that's why I'm a little hesitant. But I think, you know what? I'm going to have the Bears staying right here. I'm going to have the Bears sticking and selecting Marvin Harrison Jr. With the Giants at 5, it's just way too much of a risk to trade down to 5 and have picks 4 and 5 where you probably don't get Marvin Harrison Jr. You might not even get Olu Fashanu. You might have to settle for might have to settle for guys like Joe Alt, who's not a bad player, but really you want to be in the top 3 to 4 mostly, so you're able to get those cornerstone pieces like Marvin Harrison Jr. That's why the Bears were able to make the trade in my last mock draft, going from 1 to 2, still going to 2 and getting Marvin Harrison Jr., their guy. So in this case, they're not able to trade down. I'm not going to have the Cardinals do it because the Cardinals just straight up don't need. I don't think they're going to draft quarterback. I think they're going to stick with Kyler Murray. The Patriots have been notorious for not trading up to draft a quarterback, so they're going to stick at 3, and then the Bears at 4, obviously. And then the Giants, like I said before, way too much of a risk. So Marvin Harrison Jr. went to the Bears, different first overall pick already. Now with the second overall pick, this is where I'm going to be doing the trade. I'm going to trade the Cardinals, giving the Giants the second overall pick. The Giants see Caleb Williams fall to 2, and that's going to be enough for them to pounce on it. So 2 for 5, obviously not going to be straight up, but I'm not going to go through all that work just to make everything right. So Giants straight up for 2. Right away, I guess it's paused, but right away, you know who you're picking. It's Caleb Williams at 2. Drake May has flown up the draft boards, or not draft boards, but has been more widely viewed as potential to be the number 1 quarterback. I still have Caleb Williams, though. He's still my number 1 quarterback. What he can do with his arm, with his legs, is something we haven't really seen. We see Patrick Mahomes do it now in the NFL, but he didn't show too much of it at Texas Tech. So seeing a guy in college like Caleb Williams do it, it's going to be different for the NFL. So I have Caleb Williams at 2. At 3, you have the Patriots. This could be Olu Fashanu. This could be Drake May. I'm going to have them go Drake May. It's probably, or not probably, I think this is the last year of the Mac Jones era. Is this the last year of the Bill Belichick era, or will they allow him to work with a new young quarterback? I'm not sure yet, but I have him at 3 with Drake May. Pretty easy pick in my opinion. Olu Fashanu's there as well. But by the way, if you're a Bears fan and Olu Fashanu falls to 4, you would be happy because if that happened, the Bears would pounce on it immediately. Bears at 4, Olu Fashanu, the best, in my opinion, easily the best offensive tackle, even offensive lineman in this class. At 5, we have the Cardinals. They definitely need edge help, as you can see in Pro Football Network's draft or team needs. Edge is number 1, and getting Dallas Turner, a player who's definitely flown up the draft boards, is going to be, if they draft him, huge for the Cardinals. So I have Dallas Turner at 5 to the Cardinals. He's going to be a game changer if he does end up in Arizona. At 6, we have the Titans. I feel like this needs to be offensive weapons or an offensive tackle. I see Joe Alt here. He's pretty enticing. But a wide receiver wouldn't be too off for me. I can see Keon Coleman or Malik Neighbors going here, whether you want to give Will Levis more of a deep threat in Malik Neighbors or more of a possession-aggressive receiver in Keon Coleman. I think I'm going to go Joe Alt, though. They need offensive line help. Another player who looks like era might be over is Derrick Henry. He hasn't played the best over the last couple of weeks. So getting Joe Alt, you're already a run-heavy team, and you just got a new quarterback. So the next thing you need besides weapons is players to protect your 2 cornerstone pieces, in Will Levis and Derrick Henry. Next at 7, we have the Commanders. I also think I might end up doing more trades. I don't know. I've only done one so far, so if I do end up doing it, we'll see. Commanders, though, at 7. You already messed up. Not messed up, but Emmanuel Forbes is not looking amazing so far. So one player that would be very enticing would be Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. We see lineman back and running back and their team needs. Those are just positions that don't primarily go high in the draft, so I won't have them select any of those players. I think I'm going to end up going Kool-Aid McKinstry, though. They could also go Leatu Latu, another, I talked a lot good about him, or I talked well about him last mock drafts when I had him falling a little bit. But Leatu Latu is currently ranked for them as the 33rd player. He has top 10 potential for sure, so it could be him. But, you know what? I am going to go Leatu Latu. A little bit different. Edge go high off the board, and I'm going Leatu Latu. I mean, if you're a Commanders fan, you just traded Chase Young, you just traded Montez Sweat, get a new guy in Leatu Latu who can bring the same level of aggression, athleticism that those two guys brought. And personally, I think Leatu Latu might have more potential. Chase Young got hurt, so we weren't able to see his full potential, but I really love Leatu Latu out of UCLA. And especially at 7 to the Commanders, some could see it as a little bit of a reach, but I think it's a good fit. At 8, we have the Falcons. This could be not quarterback. This could be receiver. This could also be cornerback. This also could be quarterback. I'm looking at every one of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quinn Ewers, I'm not sure, and then they do have Carson Beck in this mock draft, who I've also seen fly off the draft board a little bit. I don't think I'm going to give them quarterback, though. I might lay off of that just a little bit. I think this is an easy offensive weapons pick. Assuming they fire Arthur Smith this offseason, getting someone like Keon Coleman, maybe Malik Neighbors would be big for them. I think they could go edge, though, or this is going to be a hard one for me. They could go a lot here. I mean, this team is not an amazing team, so it makes sense. Looking at the edge, I know there's Jared Verse, Chop Robinson. I don't really think that entices me too much if I'm a Falcons fan. I think we're going to end up going wide receiver. No, we're going to end up going cornerback. I know I spent a long time on that. But Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. CB1 right now, it could change when we get to the offseason. The cornerback rankings change a lot. So I would mean guys like Denzel Burke, guys like anyone I like down here, Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia, guys like those guys who we just automatically see just rise up the draft boards. It happens a lot in the offseason. So right now, Kool-Aid McKinstry's cornerback 1, but for the future, I don't really know. If I could think of someone that happened to, who was it? He got drafted to the Titans. I know it's blanking in my mind right now, but Caleb Farley. Yes, Caleb Farley. He started out as one of the top players in the draft, and in the offseason, I know he had a little bit of an injury problem, but he just fell, and he fell to the late first round, I believe, and went from a potential top 10 pick to somewhere in the 20s. So that's what I'm talking about. And for Kool-Aid McKinstry, these Alabama cornerbacks where they're not always efficient, they'll have their flash plays, but they'll also give up big yards. That's what Alabama cornerbacks are notorious for. We could see what happened with these cornerbacks this year in terms of them falling and jumping in the draft order and board. Next up is the Packers. I think I did this last year, or not last year. I think I did this last week as well. I think I'm going to have them going Brock Bowers. Just him and Luke Musgrave would be a great tight end duo. They're able to do different things, so having a cool duo like that would give them a lot of opportunities on offense to help Jordan Love. So it's between Brock Bowers and Keon Coleman for me. I'm going to go Brock Bowers, though, out of Georgia. Tight end 1 easily in this draft. When it comes to tight ends, they don't really fly off the draft board or drop down the draft board. So get the best tight end in the class. Get the best tight end since Kyle Pitts in terms of where we've seen him out of college. Go get Brock Bowers, and their receiving room, not receiver room, but receiving room will get a lot better. At 10, we have the Buccaneers. Is this where I went Keon Coleman last time? I feel like the Buccaneers were at 17 last time I did this mock draft, and I was so weird because I had Keon Coleman dropping. But this could be Keon Coleman. This could be This could be lineman. I know it says quarterback need, but again, I'm not so sure that's what I want them to draft right now, especially in the weak NFC South. I mean, it's a very strong quarterback class, so you can definitely make that point. So who knows, they could go quarterback here, but I'm going to have them go receiver like last week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have them go Keon Coleman out of Florida State. I had him dropping last week. Honestly, it was a little bit of a mistake on my part because it's hard to see him drop. But Keon Coleman, at least wide receiver 2 in this class. You could argue that that would be Malik Neighbors, or you could even argue someone like Emeka Ibuka. Roma Dunze has had a big collegiate season. So Keon Coleman at 10. I feel like this is a round where we can see him getting drafted on draft night. Sorry, I'm starting a little bit. But at 11, we have the Jets. I kind of feel like this needs to be offensive line / offensive tackle, and having J.C. Latham right here is something you want to pounce on immediately. J.C. Latham kind of falling right here. A little bit of a surprise, but I have him going 11 to the Jets. Mekhi Becton's health is a biggest question mark if you're a Jets fan. Obviously, you have Aaron Rodgers, but we know whatever he's on, he's coming back in, a week. So getting J.C. Latham at 11, go get Aaron Rodgers some protection. Go make a Super Bowl run and prove that you are not the Jets anymore and you're actually a good contending football team. J.C. Latham can help this team immediately. At 11 is the Chargers. Don't know how Brandon Staley's still their coach, but I doubt they go Malik Neighbors here. I mean, you have so many receiving weapons. You have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Joshua Palmer, Quentin Johnson. I know he dropped that big touchdown or potential touchdown against the Packers, but he's still a good young receiver. A lot of great players here on the board for them. I could see them going cornerback. I could see them going tackle. I could see them going even run stopping, defensive tackle, something they struggle at a little bit. So I think this could be Johnny Newton. And I'm going to go Johnny Newton out of Illinois. They need run help. Johnny Newton is basically the perfect player for that. At 13, we have the Rams. I think this is where we're going to see the quarterback go. And this could be J.J. McCarthy. This could be Michael Penix. The Rams, again, I'm pretty sure they were at like 6 last week. I don't know how they jumped all the way up, but they did. This could also be tackle, where we could see possibly Amarius Mims. So actually, I could go tackle here. But I think I'm going to go quarterbacks. Quarterbacks go off the board quick. I might as well do it in this draft. I mean, if we think about it, your only quarterback right now is Matt Stafford, and we know that he's getting old quick. So I'm thinking J.J. McCarthy here. Jaden Daniels can even get up here in real life, but I think I'm going to go J.J. McCarthy. Bo Nix has also been a very good talent, but J.J. McCarthy here, 13 to the Rams. I think I had him going 7th last week, so a little bit of a fall. But speaking of quarterback, look what we have next. We have another team that could draft a quarterback. Another team that could also go draft an offensive tackle and Amarius Mims and possibly Talisi Fuega. But I'm going to have them going quarterback as well. This one, I think I'm going to go Jaden Daniels. It's between him and Michael Penix Jr. I'm going to go Jaden Daniels out of LSU. Yes, this is probably going to be my biggest. I'm not going to say reach because Jaden Daniels is a Heisman candidate, if not favorite. So I'm not going to say reach, but it's a quarterback needy team. Go get a amazing dual threat quarterback and make Devontae Adams happy. Whether or not you trade him, we'll see. Probably will, so maybe this doesn't matter for Devontae Adams, but you're going through a little bit of a rebuild. Go get you a new quarterback, and I'm excited to see this Raiders' future team, especially if they keep their interim head coach there. So next up is the Colts at 15, and what I see right here is a team that needs an edge. They also just dropped Darius Leonard, so they could argue that they need an off-ball who can also rush, but more of a drop-back linebacker who scans the field more. So Barrett Carter I'm looking at. But this is really an edge team for me. This is edge. This is offensive tackle. So I'm looking at Jared Verse here. I mean, last time I had these guys falling a little bit. Who's the best running back in this class? Who's the best running back? Travion Henderson, I guess that makes sense. Will Shipley. Okay, obviously not a strong running back class. But Donovan Edwards at 124. Is that a little low? I'm not sure. Is Blake Corum not? Oh, he's right above him. I was going to say, is he not declaring this year? But I'm either going to go tackle or I'm going to go edge. I think I'm going to lean tackle here. I see Amarius Mims still on the board. I want to take advantage of that if I'm the Colts. Get someone that's on the opposite side of Quentin Nelson. Also, both players are versatile. They can both play either side, so we'll see where he fits. But get your young quarterback help. Anthony Richardson has some flashes, and make sure these flashes actually come true. Build yourself a good quarterback and go get an offensive line to protect him. At 16 is the Broncos. As you can see, they are heavily flying down the draft board. They're making a playoff push, which is cool if you're a Broncos fan. What do you need most, though? Their defense has improved a lot, and I could kind of see them going receiver here, as crazy as it is. I mean, it's not that crazy, but, I mean, if you think about it, Jerry Jeudy hasn't been amazing. Cortland Sutton has been pretty good. But other than that, you have, or last year you drafted Denzel Mims, right? Yes, Denzel Mims out of, let me make sure I'm not getting his name wrong. Marvin Mims. I was bad. Who's Denzel Mims? Who was I thinking about? Denzel Mims plays for the Jets. So my bad. Marvin Mims drafted one last year, but I think Malik Neighbors can go right here. I could also see edge. I mean, I could see a lot of things from this team. I think you need to take advantage of the small fall of Malik Neighbors and get him here at 16. Malik Neighbors to the Broncos. Get Russell Wilson more weapons. Continue to build that defense through free agency, hopefully, and go make sure that you can keep competing for the playoffs. Even after this season, the Sean Payton, Russell Wilson experiment wasn't working. Russell Wilson experiment wasn't working at first, but recently it's been better. So Malik Neighbors at 16. At 17, we have the Bengals. I mean, this team is doing the opposite of what the Broncos are doing, and they're falling because Joe Burrow is out for the season. This could be a cornerback team. I keep clicking the wrong thing. But I see Cooper DeJean here. I see Nate Wiggins here and Kalen. I mean, these guys from 16 to 26 could all really go right here. But, I don't know. This is an interesting team because we don't really know what direction they're going in. Like, when is Joe Burrow going to be healthy before next season, or is he going to take a little bit of time? So, it says receiver here. I don't really think they need a receiver. I mean, unless we see T. Higgins leave. But right now, I mean, Emeka Egbuka, when you replace someone like T. Higgins, you want to get more of a bigger body. So these guys really aren't doing it for me, at least in my opinion. So maybe not receiver here. They could go corner, tackle. I mean, these all make a lot of sense. I think I'm gonna go tackle here. We're gonna go Talisi Fuega out of Oregon State. Another one of my favorite underrated players in this mock draft. I feel like he could end up going very high in real life. He could definitely pass Amarius Mims when it comes to tackle rankings. J.C. Latham, maybe. Obviously not my number 4 guy in this draft, Olu Fashanu. But I like Talisi Fuega, and him at 17 would be nice. At 18, I just realized that I did not have Keon Coleman going to the Buccaneers in the last mock draft. I had him going to the Bills, because now I remember. This team could get a receiver, though. Get a better offense. You know, that's what they need to build on. Their defense has been sort of solid, but I'm going to go cornerback. I mean, I feel like they could very well go receiver right here, but I think I'm going to head cornerback. And I see Cooper DeJean right here. I don't really feel like this is the spot for him. I don't really feel like that the Bills would take a guy like him right here. So I want to lean Nate Wiggins, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Nate Wiggins from Clemson, 18 to the Bills. Yeah, it's just a team that needs cornerback help. All their secondary players are getting, or players in the secondary, not secondary players, but players in the secondary getting hurt, getting older. I know Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde don't play cornerback, but get more guys, get more versatile guys in the secondary, like Nate Wiggins, and build that secondary from the ground up a little bit, because looks like right now it's diminishing. At 18, we have the Saints. The Saints. Disappointing right now. Disappointing. I could see this right now being Michael Penix Jr., and I would not have a problem. But I think that's another team that can just go wide receiver help right here. I mean, Emeka Egbuka is still right here for them. But wide receiver kind of feels like the way to go. Defensive tackle, I don't really know how many high ones there are anymore. Talik Williams, I really wouldn't take here at 19 if I was the Saints. Obviously, offensive tackle, you're going to see some, we're still pretty high. Patrick Paul, Tyler Guyton should both be higher in terms of offensive tackle rankings, in my opinion. But this is going to be my quarterback spot. I mean, wide receiver here too, especially with Michael Thomas getting put on the IR, getting hurt again. I mean, Emeka Egbuka is just staring at me. But I'm going to go Michael Penix Jr. They just need to restart at the quarterback position. Since Drew Brees, you've been trying to replace him with guys like, it started with Jameis Winston. Then you had Taysom Hill for a little bit. You had injuries. You had Ian Book. Ian Book was terrible. You had Ian Book. Now you have Derek Carr. So get you a young new quarterback. Build this offense from the ground up again. Start with Chris Olave and Michael Penix. And hopefully the Saints are able to get out of this. I mean, they're in a big mess right now. Derek Carr contract. Right now they're in basically cap hell. So Michael Penix, restart for the Saints. And I like this pick at 19. Now, for the Vikings at 20, a team that could have been looking at Michael Penix Jr., but maybe not with the pasture not. Josh Dobbs has been great so far this season. Quarterback is still one of their top needs, so I could see them going it. But I feel like could be a cornerback team for me. And I think I want it early. I'm just going to go. I mean, Cooper DeJean probably should stop falling. But I feel like he could be a guy who ends up falling in the draft. I don't know. Kalen King here at 21. I'm going to go Kalen King at 20, excuse me. Team that needs cornerback, I feel like it's a good fit for them. At 20, Kalen King, sort of a steal in my opinion. I really like Kalen King out of Penn State. At 21, we have the Cardinals. This is going to be the swap pick from the Texans. No, it's not, because the Texans are here at 24. I'm not sure where the Cardinals got this pick. But, earlier we had them picking Dallas Turner and edge. So now we could see them go on offense. And with Emeka Egbuka still being here at 14, I'm salivating from my mouth if I'm a Cardinals fan. Let's go pick him up, a team that needs receiver help, and a guy like Emeka Egbuka who failed at 21, that's going to be big for them. At 22, we have the Seahawks. Another team that could just go quarterback. Like before, I mean, I'm having these bigger guys go down the board, so maybe if you're a Seahawks fan, you just want to see your team take Jared Verse. So, a guy like Jared Verse is kind of falling right now. Same with Chop Robinson. But, interesting for the Seahawks. Could see corner again. I could see, like I said, those edge like Jared Verse, like Chop Robinson. You can also see quarterback. Bo Nick Shitter Sanders. Probably not Jordan Travis after his injury, but Cameron Ward maybe? I don't know. Quinn Ewers, maybe not. And even like I said before, Carson Beck, who's right now 213. But with the 22nd pick in the draft, I'm going to have the Seahawks taking cornerback Cooper DeJean. He shouldn't fall this far, but the way I have him mocked right now, I have the Seahawks taking him at 22. At 23, we have the Steelers. Now, they need offensive help. They need offensive weapons. I don't know if George Pickens is going to stick there for the long run. So, Rome Odunze, Xavier Worthy, I'm looking at you to the Steelers. But I think I'm going to end up going offensive tackle. Patrick Paul here would be nice for the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers are kind of a team that would take a reach on a tackle, maybe a little bit. But no, I'm going to go edge. These guys are falling way too much. Again, Jared Verse falling to 23. It kind of reminds me of Jermaine Johnson falling last year to the Jets. So be the team that takes a pick. Jared Verse, Jermaine Johnson's also been good this season, so maybe we'll get some late first rounds edge revival. I don't know how to say it, but Jared Verse here at 23. It's a steal for the Steelers. At 24, we have the Texans. Another team that could really need edge, and we could see double edge right here with Chop Robinson. But you have a team that kind of needs receiver help. Not the best talent, but C.J. Stroud has worked perfectly with it. Rome Odunze, Xavier Worthy, guys that I feel like could go a lot higher in this draft if there were more teams that needed receiver immediately. But I'm going to have them go edge. I'm going to have them take Chop Robinson. Jared Verse and Chop Robinson, two guys who shouldn't fall. I mean, if I want to look at NFL mock drafts right now, see where, just Sports Illustrated. I'll see where these guys are going. Okay, is this Sports Illustrated? I guess. See where some of these guys are going. I don't know why I can't see it. Let's try to look at a different one. Pro Football Network, sure, why not? They also had Marvin Harrison at one. But, see where some of these, edges are going instead of me dropping them far. I mean, hey, this guy, whoever did this mock draft, also has these edges falling down a little bit. So maybe I'm not crazy. Maybe I could see these edges falling. So, Child Robinson, 24 to the Texans. At 25, we have the Dolphins. I've been repeating it a lot, but this is a team that needs tackle. Could also see corner, but most of all, I'm going to go tackle. And Patrick Paul out of Houston, a guy that should definitely be ranked higher in these draft boards. But him to the Dolphins at 25, it's just team fit. I feel like it's a perfect pick for them. At 26, we have the Cowboys. Another team that could use tackle, also corner, also receiver. Brandon Cooks, he's getting old. He's not what he used to be. Michael Gallup is just not that good. So I could go receiver here. Rome Odunze, last time I had them pick receiver as well. Rome Odunze wasn't on the board. So now he is. Let's go get Rome Odunze, one of the best receivers in the country right now. And getting him at 26 would be near best case scenario for the Cowboys. At 27, we have the 49ers, a team who's back in the win column against the Buccaneers and the week before against the Jaguars. So nice to see them get back to more relevancy. But their offense, especially Trent Williams, their tackles are getting older. So I think we could go tackle right here. No one that really stands out to me right away. I think I'm going to go Kingsley Suamataia. Not the exact way to pronounce his name. Going to be honest, don't know too much about him. But a team that really needs tackle help, why don't we go get the best tackle off the board? Kingsley Suamataia out of BYU. Next up, we have the Jaguars at 28. This is a straight, very easy cornerback team for me. I'm going to have them going Denzel Burke out of Ohio State. I feel like it's just another team that it's team fit. Go get him. Same thing with the Patrick Paul to the Dolphins, Denzel Burke to the Jaguars. At 29, we have the Chiefs. I don't really know if I have to say it. Go get receiver. Is Xavier Worthy wide receiver one? Troy Franklin has been turning it up recently. He does have one of, if not the best quarterback in performing quarterback in the country now on Bo Nix, so you could attribute his success to that. But I still really like Troy Franklin, and I feel like he could go here at 29. But I'm going to go Brian Thomas Jr. I'm going to go Brian Thomas Jr. The Chiefs just feel like a team that would just randomly, just maybe a little bit of a reach in Brian Thomas Jr. So get him at 29. You need hands. That's going to be good hands for you. At 30, we have the Lions. I don't know. I can't scroll all the way down to see the Eagles pick. But Lions at 30. I think this is going to be another receiver, Xavier Worthy. If you're a Lions fan, you're happy that receiver didn't go at 29. So go get the better receiver in Xavier Worthy to pair with Jared Goff, who had like 3 picks last Sunday. Surprising. But at 31, can we see 3 wide receivers go right here? I'm going to lean with no. I have the Baltimore Ravens selecting. I'm going to go Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia. They beat the Bengals last week with a very, it wasn't really a real win. Joe Burrow was hurt or got hurt. The Bengals were banged up. Even the Ravens were banged up too. So Ravens at 31, Kamari Lassiter. At 32 in the last pick of my mock draft, we have the Eagles. Could this be safety? I haven't gone safety yet in this draft. Was it Cameron Kitchens probably the top guy? Yeah. They could also go corner. Their corners are getting older. They're obviously Darius Slay, their number 1 guy. Could see Terrion Arnold out of Alabama. anyone I like lower down, Josh Newton out of TCU. But I think I'm going to go wide receiver. If you think about it, outside of, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but outside of A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, their room is not amazing. So I think we could get a big-time receiver here to help them immediately. I would go Jalen McMillan, but he missed a lot of time this season, so kind of hard to go him. Devontae Walker it would be cool if he went in the first round. But probably end up going like Troy Franklin, Adonai Mitchell, maybe Roman Wilson. But I think I'm gonna go Adonai Mitchell out of Texas at 48. No, Troy Franklin. And yeah, that's my mock draft. I didn't know it was gonna immediately switch like that, but yeah, we're gonna talk about Troy Franklin real quick. Yeah, his stats might be a little boosted because of Bo Nix, but nonetheless, Troy Franklin is a good receiver, and a team like the Eagles, who really don't have that much outside of A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, Troy Franklin can bring a lot to them. So here is the full drafts. As you can see, how many quarterbacks did I have going? I had 1 Caleb Williams, 2 Drake May. Let's see, had Jaden Daniels, J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr. So that was, what is that? Is that 5? 5 quarterbacks going. I left a couple out. I left Bo Nix. I left Carson Beck. I left Shedeur Sanders. Cameron Ward, he probably won't go, but or go in the first round, but who knows. But here's my mock drafts. We could see things change next week when I'm going to drop my next mock draft, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Peace.